Shh. Yours truly, Adrian, Dragan and Dragan, pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon army, kingdom which is one empire. Under the sun, under the moon, under the stars on earth, the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom are one empire. Under the sun and the stars on earth, for world peace, international justice, securing and ensuring freedom, and attaining harmony between civilization and nature. Yours truly, Adrian, Dragan, triple vaccinated right here in the forehead of the goddess. Yeah, I said goddess tattoo. Triple vaccinated, offering the fourth dimension to that trinity of vaccinations. Fourth dimension being LOVE. Love, love, love. Hopefully if you made it this far in this video, couple or hooking up or XYZ vaccinated with consent and hygiene, consent and hygiene, consent and hygiene. Start kissing. Start massaging. Start washing each other. Feels good. For pleasure and purpose. The body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. The body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. The body is a temple for pleasure and for purpose. And yours truly encourages all in hygiene, increasing in hygiene. I started the day with some art, some cleaning, laundry. This February 14th. After this bath, I'm gonna go send the package. The one I love and call sister. Anonymous. If I make $1, I'll give half. And if anything happens, you know, life is short, don't waste your time. Start loving, loving, loving. Love is action, because I'm grateful, thankful. My rent is paid on this February 14th. My rent is paid. Got food. Survive for a few days, weeks, when if I stretch it for a whole month. Noodle bags and some pasta. And some sardine cans. I'm good to rock and roll. The coming days, weeks, and months. This is February 14th. Same Valentines. Cleaned floors. Did laundry. Prepped my room for the week. Had some coffee. I'll say a bath before I go on marching to drop off a package. And do a little bit, an hour, 2 hour, even 3 hour marching, although it's cold. -11 feels like -22. I'm going to be marching towards the sun. I'll not record it like the other marches, because when I take the laptop and I'm working what I got in, when it's more than -9, I notice that after a few minutes the battery is consumed more rapidly, and so I do not I will not take it for a long march. I'll go on my own, come back after sunset. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, encourage everybody to get tested, get vaccinated. Now, I know I had COVID before mass testing was available and before the vaccines came into effect at the beginning, at the onset, back at the end of January 2020. Until about February 20th. 2020 was very sickle and disease. It was like death, pestilence, and disease. In many ways, yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn did die during COVID and being reborn, Adrian Dragan. Yours truly, androgynous pansexual, founder of the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, which are one empire under the sun, under the stars, under the moon. On earth for world peace, international justice and security, and ensuring global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and nature, calling upon all ALL willingly loving to join, support the mission vision thereof by the implementation of my trinity of theories, complementary, cooperative covenant trinities, the citizen integration theory, CIT, democratic fusion theory, DFT, and the debt refusion theory, the DRT. This trinity of theories Coupled with the fourth dimension of love is action, the body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. For a new world order of world peace, international justice, secured and ensured global freedom and attained harmony between civilization and nature, is what yours truly, Adrian Hana, Dragon's dancing goddess and dragon kingdom, which are one empire under the sun and the stars on earth, stands for. And although I got vices, got lusts, got issues, got vices, and not perfect, far from it. I'm learning every day, and there's so many things I do not know nor claim to know. One thing I do know is that I do stand for the greater good, and that with all the vices, the lust, the imperfections, the moodiness, the anger, the temperament, the shortcomings which admit that do have, and I don't want to keep on loving. My rent's paid. Love is action, man. Don't waste your time following some fool's orders. I ain't following no order from no leader of the free world that doesn't march in steel-toe boots. Which yours truly dancing, which I'm inviting them in Hawk Island, Montreal. To march in steel-toe boots starting in ASAP from the corner of Sherbrooke and University. Clockwise or counterclockwise in the morning, 3.5 hours in steel-toe boots. Dragan Zero World Peace Summit, calling on the leaders of the free world to come march in steel-toe boots with yours truly, Adrian Hana Dragon. Discuss philosophy, dance, and attain and work for world peace by implementing my trinity of theories: citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. Those trinity, that trinity of theories, coupled with a fourth dimension to that trinity, LOV, because if it's not out of LOV, I don't want nothing to do with it. Stay 2 meters away from this triple vaccinated world peace advocate, and keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouths. If it's not for a blessing, hope we have an understanding. Keep my holy, sacred, and divine name, Adrian Hana Dragon, out of your mouths. If it's not for a blessing, hope we have an understanding. Keep my holy, sacred, and divine name out of your mouth. If it's not for a blessing, hope we have an understanding. Been through hell and back, suffered, been depressed, been suicidal, been lonely, been struggling emotionally, psychologically, physically. Financially, I admit I'm broke, but not poor, rich. Kisses got from the goddess who dances with her brother's son and took one kiss. Received from the goddess of infinite space, many stars, heaven lit above. And that one kiss turned into 156 trillions of kisses, which were credited to yours truly on the condition that I will willingly loving distribute to all my willingly loving allies and armies. So I can kiss, get vaccinated triple. I can kiss overtime, massage can, wash can. I recognized, I salute, I did the right thing by getting vaccinated. On the question of mandates, brothers and sisters, it's a tough, ethical, moral, democratic question, of course, since mandates do imply the restriction of some of our fellow citizens' access to goods or services or XYZ, and we have an intersection of privileges. And during this COVID, although I said I felt I'm fucking useless, and in certain situations I am fucking useless, I admit it. I'm good at dancing, philosophizing, kissing, washing, massaging, and massage therapy during COVID. But at other things, I did say that I felt useless during COVID, since I said I never farmed in my life. But in truth, I did farm before COVID, micro level urban farming. So I do have some experience farming, sowing, reaping the fruits of the harvest after doing all the agricultural work, manual physical labor work, and some technical. At the micro urban farming I did a few times. So I had the past lives, past incarnations, from being a farmer many thousands years ago on the Nile, feeding the priestesses and the workers who built the pyramids. No, I do not know how the pyramids were built. I was a farmer servant to the workers and the priestesses. Many lifetimes in by the Nile, by the Euphrates, a farmer in ancient Babylon, and not just a farmer, but also a helper to the priestesses of the goddess Ishtar. As before in Egypt, Isis, the forgotten goddess, the tattoo who still dances with her brother the sun to make, create, and produce all fruits, vegetables, and legumes that our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest first to make, maintain, or upgrade civilization. Even y'all multi-millionaires making those multi-millionaires yesterday in the Super Bowl, football, performers, rap, that heard Dre, gonna make dreads, put you on the leash, with Eminem for world peace, Dragan raps. Haven't been a long time in the streets, you not in steel-toe boots, bitch. But the farmers kiss their hands, leaders of the free world. What to do without food, man? Calling the leaders of the free world to go with the Dragan army security and service to give a massage to the goddamn truck drivers and the farmers who feed our goddamn selves. What are we to do without food? Even the rich elites, they gotta eat. Even the rich elites, they gotta eat. Even the rich elites, they gotta eat. They're doing paper, man. I like potatoes, beans, cheese. Bacon. Has been a while I didn't buy. Prices be going up, so struggling financially, not poor, but rich in art, creativity, philosophy, spiritual teachings, universal spiritual teaching student, because do not know it every goddamn thing and got questions. I'm an independent artist, athlete, activist, AAA, adding the fourth dimension, universal spiritual teaching student. Who doesn't know it all, has questions. I don't know what caused COVID. First and foremost, I believe it was snakes, transmitted zoonotic snakes, human beings. Second, I do not know for sure. And third, since do not know for sure, cannot rule out another possibility. What I do know without a doubt is that before COVID, 93 days or so before COVID, yours truly created the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragan Army workout designed, made, and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie, providential, paradoxical way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. You heard that right. Back in October 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, student, scholar of wars, civilizations, global independent security analyst and theorist, historian, student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, civilization, had analyzed the situation, the global geopolitical situation, and I came up with the conclusion after my analysis, and I was saying that we, humanity, are on a path towards World War III. Now, I'm not perfect. The sword of freedom. Freedom is a double-edged sword with my tiny hands, tiny feet, and a tiny little androgynous scar-clipped dick. Call me Dragan Zero, aka Limp Dick. Dragan Zero. Dragan Zero, aka Limp Dick. Dragan Zero, aka Limp Dick. The sword of freedom. I got a tattoo here. How many things are you gonna admit? You don't think Colin Nassib is the only LGBTQ player in the NFL now? Yesterday, when they faced 11 versus 11, on each side, offense and defense, there was one of them who was LGBTQ rainbow. Now I'm a rainbow dragon. Sexual liberation has not been easy for me without blood, sweat, and tears. For me personally, and it has not been for you, for Canada, for United States of America, North American civilization, the West, and the world for that matter, as my LGBTQ nation spans across nations. Been past Halloween, last Halloween, it's been 7 years since I came out of the closet. 7 years this past Halloween since I came out of the closet. Like 7 years since I came out of the closet at past Halloween. Androgynous pansexual fun with the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom. Just one empire of the sun and the stars on earth. And with all the flaws, the vices, the sufferings, the no longer depressed, working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will be medicine and therapy for yours truly. I believe it is so for many. Since day one, I have been asking the mass, advocating for the mass financing thereof, for people to work out, train, exercise, which I believe it is a great service for security and service to create the Dragon Security and Service Army. Security and service. For example, services that can be offered, everything on the table with consent and hygiene, with consent and hygiene, with consent and hygiene, and to integrate, create this new institutions, complementary covenant cooperative institution to the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, complementary covenant cooperative institution to the Dragon Security and Service Army, to be complementary and cooperative and covenant institution. Yours truly, Adrian H. Dragonborn, died during COVID. Nothing that I want to go back to pre-COVID. Personally, I understand powers that be, CEOs, rich elites, athletes in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB. They rushed back real fast to pre-COVID. I understand when you have millions of dollars and money, and it's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the greater good. A new world order of world peace, international justice, secured and insured global freedom, attain harmony between civilization and nature. Yours truly stands for as imperfect as him, the vices, the lusts. I got tiny trinity, tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny little androgynous scar clit dick. Dragon Zero, aka Limp Dick. Anyways, back to the, now that we got that out of the way, we can move to my theories, complementary trinity of theories, citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory. It's that trinity of theories with the fourth dimension, love, L-O-V, love is action, not just blah blah blah. And I got fourth dimension to the tiny feet, tiny hands, tiny androgynous little scarlet dick. I got a fourth dimension, got this big mouth. I'm not left, I'm not right, I'm the universal, revolutionary, nonetheless centrist. A global citizen, Canadian, many lifetimes, many incarnations, across nations and empires, sun rises, sun sets, dances, goddess, dances with a brother, the sun, makes, creates and produces fruits, vegetables and legumes. All ALL, fruits, vegetables and legumes are made, created and produced by the dance of the goddess with her brother, the sun. That our brothers and sisters, farmers, harvest for us to make, upgrade and build civilizations. Asking Dragon Army, the creation, security and service to be assembled and created from all existing public and private security forces to be of security and service with the community. Services, give a massage, help with the cooking, help with the children, read to the children a book. I'm good at that, I'm writing children's book. Put them hygiene, help with some cleaning, help with the groceries, help with XYZ. Take the children out for a run, for a jog, for doing some sports. They're driving the parents crazy. They're too hyperactive. They need to exercise. Need to go run a half an hour, play a soccer, play hockey, do basketball, do the 300 workout, do some squats, do some jogs, do some push-ups. Ain't no medicine. They don't want to over-medicate their kids. Say, perhaps alternatives, Dragon Service and Securities. Child multi-millionaire sports athletes, patriarchal sports leagues, man, NFL. What y'all eat? Y'all gotta eat Trade before playing in the Super Bowl. Multi-millionaire quarterbacks. Players, y'all gotta eat what y'all for breakfast. Multi-millionaire stock traders. Are you trading stock now? Are you trading stop, sell, buy, sell, futures, interest rates. Put them 10%, man. With solutions that we gotta focus. Remember freedom. Freedom is not easy, especially when you got commercial, financial, economic pressures, of which I've lived share of economic, financial, commercial crises. I'm in a crisis, financial crisis right now, I admit it, but I my rent's paid, phone bill is half of it is paid, my electricity bill is paid in full. Thank you. I got a thank you grateful month. Third month in a row, grateful. From December, January to February. Be thankful, grateful for the food you eat, man. Dragan service and security armies to east, west, north, south, interpoints to when the truckers, they don't pay them enough. Farmers, encourage you all to get vaccinated. And meet in the middle. Now on the Freedom Convoy, if I would have been Prime Minister, I think Prime Minister Trudeau should meet with them, should have met with them. It's XYZ. It's Prime Minister. I ain't taking order from no leader of the free world, man. Freedom. Freedom is a double-edged sword, my brothers and sisters. Heavy on both sides, both edges sharp. I admit, with my tiny hands, tiny feet, tiny little androgynous scar-clipped dick, it's too heavy for me to lift. Y'all rappers, artists, actors, CEOs of banks, corporations, what y'all have to eat today for breakfast. Then maybe you're fasting today, but you're gonna eat later on, dinner, right? And the farmers' hands need to be kissed. So the Dragan Army, Dragan Zero done. Kiss, massage, hug the farmers, truckers, man. What are we gonna eat, bro? Can't eat no smartphones. Can't eat this laptop. I don't want to be going no cannibal. Spartans! Dragons! Tonight we eat liver! Dragons! Tonight we eat! I like my bacon. You like the bacon? If anybody willingly loving to offer me some vegan twice meal a day at least, my workout regimen, physically active 3 times, minimum 2 times, I'm willing to take it. How many farms? How many farmers? Interesting, my own privilege, man. We got intersected privileges. Fucking food privilege, man. I was starved, bro. These people are disconnected. They don't understand. They're out of their minds. They live in different worlds. Paper. How are you gonna do to disconnect, to connect? Athletes, NFL, NHL, NBA, multi-millionaires, singers, stars, athletes, artists, favorite movie stars, man, making 30 million a movie, 50 million a year, 10 million a year, playing 5 million a year. See what a buck. Y'all gotta eat too, man. Farmers ain't get paid good services enough. The truckers sure hell don't, man. Independent artists, athletes, activists like myself, be of service. I've, nonetheless, with the struggles I had, I studied, learned, still learning every day. I made the libraries of the city of Montreal my second home, and the tens of thousands of books, my friends, tens of thousands of books. I've written tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, poetry, theory, creative ideas, of which the complementary theories of for the dancing goddess and the dragon kingdom, the Phoenix People's Party, the anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism. I'm looking for willingly living volunteers. Set up application, Dragan workout app, Dragan service and security, east, west, north, south. Dragan Zero, leaders of the Free World Summit. Hawk Island, Montreal. Gonna march 3.5 hours in steel toe boots. Around Mount Royal, 3.5 hours. Steel toe boots. 3.5 hours in steel toe boots. clockwise, and counterclockwise another 3.5 hours. Gonna meet for lunch. Corner University in Sherbrooke. Sherbrooke University, University in Sherbrooke. Now I'm a universal spiritual teaching student. I'm learning every day. Got my spiritual philosophy, of which love is action. Start loving, goddamn it. Start giving a massage, give a good kiss, a good hug, a good washing of the feet, of the hands. Give some pleasure, for this body is a temple for pleasure and purpose. Make something here. And I'm not perfect. My room, office, and temple could be cleaned better. Perhaps I did a mediocre cleaning. In some situations, circumstances, I am fucking mediocre. Basketball, I'm below mediocre. I fucking suck at it. No good. In some situations, circumstances, applications, I admit I am fucking useless. With all the philosophy, theory, teachings, XYZ, it does require some action. I believe at this point in time, my complementary theories, trinity of theories, citizen integration theory, democratic fusion theory, and death refusion theory is best. With a fourth dimension to that trinity, LOVE. Because if it's not from love, LOVE, and love is action of different rainbow shades. Stay 2 meters away, man. Stay 2 meters away from Adrian, not on Dragan. Rent's paid. Good for February. Mid-February already, 14th. Happy Valentines. I hope somebody's making love now. If not now, kissing, hugging. Teenagers falling in love, going on a date for the first time, making love, kissing, the first kiss right now. I saw it was happening. It's happening 358 miles south of Hawk Island. The first kiss, just now, somebody had a first kiss. What the fuck are we gonna worth saving for this civilization if not? Love and lust as well. We got lusts. I lust, I got issues. I like giving and receiving physical pleasure. Get dirty but get back clean. Get dirty but get back clean. Get dirty but get back clean. Staying filthy gets microbes, germs, bacteria. I'm in my underground room, office, and temple. Literally underground. Been underground for a while. Time to come out a little bit of a dragon's lair. Been nesting, gestating. When I step out this underground room, office, and temple, although I do share my art, philosophy, poetry, a lot of it. I do share it in public, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram is my underground rapper. I've been an underground rapper in parallel to being a philosopher, universal spiritual teaching student, independent artist, activist, athlete, poet, dancer. I'm also an underground rapper. Best rapper of 2022, no money for the studio. Dragan gonna shoot backfire ICBM. ICBS, these people are taking us to World War III, man. Who are their minds, bro? Freedom is a double-edged sword. Ensuring and securing freedom. When we have economic, financial, commercial pressures, and if democracy falls in the hands of powerful lobby groups, powerful corporations, powerful, right? It's not democracy. On the mandates, now I had COVID. I encourage everybody to get tested, get vaccinated. When you step outside, when I step outside of this private underground layer, my room, office, and temple, I'm also private. From private, I go to public. So I'm going to become both. Right now, I can turn everything off. Start sublimating sexuality and lust. Sublimating into art, philosophy, cleaning, working, going for a march for world peace. Sublimation. Not repressing, because repressing will make us sick, ill, and disease. Accepting, understanding, feeling and emotions with logic and mathematics. They got to go hand in hand together. In the parallel life, science, innovation, and technology is my chosen path, where supercomputers, ICBM rockets, micro gadgets, and satellites are my chosen path in that parallel life. In this life, philosophy, art, sexuality, psychology, physicality, spirituality, theory, the emotionally rational, artistic side of life is my path, parallel path. I interconnect, intersect ASAP here in Hawk Island, Montreal, in my private lair, private Dragon's lair. When I step outside, I'm also become public, no longer just private. So, but I'm also part of me private, but I'm also public. And that balance, harmony between the public and the private is on citizen integration theory and democratic fusion theory, public-private partnerships. Corporations also to serve the greater good, not just the selfish interest. Now I'm going to say, with all the vices, all the lusts, all the issues, the imperfections, the moodiness, the anger, the big mouth that do have, has no way, brothers and sisters, ain't no way that during COVID, it's tough holiday season, which many families went through, economically, financially, and commercially, financially, economically, financially, commercially. There's no way that if I would have had 1,000,000, 2,000,000, 5,000,000, whatever, that I would have been that selfish to not give at least 10%. Of 1,000,000, 10% would have been 100,000. Let's say I would have had 3,000,000. 10% would have been 300,000. Would have loaded maybe 3 trucks with that. Hired 3 trucks. Gonna load them up with goods for 300,000. And doing a whole weekend, just, I know where the neighborhoods are, I'm living and I lived in lower economic, financial, commercial, not necessarily karma, merit, or talent neighborhoods, and I know where they are, and I marched in them in steel toe boots, as I marched all the way last time in my last video up to where Trudeau at, Westmount. They gotta eat also. Also gotta watch out for breakfast, man. Watch out for lunch or dinner, man. These people are disconnected, man. People are out of their minds. Rich athletes, NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB. There ain't no way, or CEOs of corporations, of XYZ, no naming names, multimillionaires, and whether athletes or artists or entrepreneurs, financiers, multimillionaires and multi-billionaires. There ain't no way that I would have been that selfish during this tough economic, financial, commercial season we've just been through in the holiday season. With all the lusts and vices and issues that I got, ain't no way that I would have been that selfish not to give at least 10%. Mass distribute goods, services. Especially for the families with children, for food security, XYZ. Right? Ain't no way. Ain't no goddamn way. I'm sure I don't want to afford a good bacon, a good bottle of wine, some good whiskey, some liquor I've never afforded before, some steel toe boots, brand new. The last years I've been buying them in second hand. I'm open for business. Triple vaccinated, open for business. Want to commission a video, support, join. Looking for volunteers to develop the Dragan Army app, the workout app, the Dancing Goddess Army app. Fundraising. GoFundMe. It's a universal revolutionary centrist with actions and solutions. that we gotta focus on. Now, get on COVID, on the mandates, tough ethical, democratic, moral question. I believe it should have been a referendum, a vote, a popular vote on it. Perhaps would have been the best, right? Unprecedented times, public health. Now, having had COVID and or triple vaccinated, know how I almost died. In many ways, I did die during COVID. It's in being reborn. Adrian, Dragan, androgynous pansexual founder of the dancing goddess and the Dragon King. My trinity on COVID has been, is, and will be this. First and foremost, do not know what caused COVID. Second, believe it was caused or transmitted from snakes to human beings. Now, since do not know for sure what caused COVID, I cannot rule out another possibility. So again, my trinity on COVID is, has been, and will be this. First and foremost, do not know what caused COVID. Second, believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, since do not know for sure, in my belief that snakes transmitted what's called technically, in technical terms, technical jargon, zoonotic transmission from animal to human beings. Some people believe it. Bats is the most famous one. After, I think it's pork, pigs, or seafood. Snakes is always, it's also a top 5, top 10 theory, but don't know for sure. So since do not know for sure, I cannot rule out another possibility. That's the fourth dimension to my trinity on COVID. So again, my trinity on COVID is first and foremost, do not know for sure. Second, believe it was transmitted from snakes to human beings. And third, cannot rule out another possibility. Fourth dimension to that trinity, what do know for sure, without a doubt, is that before COVID, 93 days before COVID, back in October 2019, yours truly, Adrian H. Dragan, created, made, and designed a workout training program designed and made and created to go hand in hand with a World War III scenario, which in an eerie, paradoxical, providential, parallel way resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crises. My scenario and the workout, officially the workout is called the General War Integrated Total Body Training System. General War Integrated Total Body Training System. 7 words, aka the Dragon Army workout, aka the 300 workout, of which the first session was October 17, 2019, of which I've performed, done, completed more than 225 sessions so far. So I've created it after having analyzed the geopolitical situation at that point in time. Namely, that point in time meaning October 2019. I took into consideration several geopolitical events and conflicts happening at that point in time around the world. Namely, mainly, principally, the US-China trade war, which the Trump administration, the Trump presidency, began in March 2018 with the beginning of imposing tariffs tariffs on imported goods from China. China retaliated. So the US-China trade war was one of the main, but not the only, factor or event which made me to say that in October 2019, that we, Canadians, North American civilization, let it be known that I was an American twice in past lives, born, and matter of fact, 156 years ago, 718 miles south from here, down south, down there, I've served in the US Army. So I'm speaking also as a reincarnated soul who was born in the USA twice in past lives. Matter of fact, I think best point in time now, maybe in March, cross the border, go to Washington State, and just span both the Democrats and the Republicans from the middle with the right hand, the Republicans, and with the left, the Democrats, and vice versa in the middle. In the White House, in the Capitol, I'll be the therapy for America. And then kiss my citizens, my brothers and sisters. After spanking the Republicans and the Democratic senators at the Capitol, with the right hand, the Republicans, with the left hand, the Democrats, and vice versa, switch. Kanye, marry me in a BDSM switch marriage for world peace. Too much God and no goddess, please. Some goddess, not God. I think that would be the best medicine for my American brothers and sisters at this point in time. We're gonna march, sit in the Capitol, live TV, and just all the Republican senators in the House of Representatives, senators in the House of Representatives, the Democrats and the Republicans, the bicameral, all Republicans and Democrats. The Democrats spank with the left hand, the Republicans with the right hand, and vice versa. Switch. Spank. Daddy, mommy, Adrian, Dragan. Spank. And then kiss and hug my children from our White House. Spank the politicians, both on the left and on the right, this universal revolutionary centrist. Give them a good goddamn spanking. I don't mind me getting a spanking from time to time. Here's a good tack. It's too hard, I say go slower, go not that hard. Tone it down a bit. I think that would be the best medicine. Same applies to me as a Canadian here, all the world rainbow citizen. Dragan Zero. To the Parliament in Ottawa. Liberals, conservatives, NDPers, senators, the members of parliament, and then kiss and hug the citizens in front of the parliament. Here we go. Solution for North American civilization. People's doctor. From the people, for the people. Solutions we gotta focus on. Give each other a goddamn hug. Kiss the farmers, give them a massage, the truckers now. As I'm speaking, there's hundreds of truckers now who deserve a good massage because they ain't get paid enough, they can't goddamn pay it. It's too expensive. Players in the NFL, National Football League, NHL, National Hockey League, NBA, National Basketball Association, MLB, 4 patriarchal sports leagues, finance the truckers to give them some goddamn massage. Bankers and artists, y'all got millions, made millions, but you gotta eat also. Grocery store clerks, those preparing coffee now, love. Those making sandwiches now, east, west, north, south, Canada, United States, preparing in restaurants some food security, securing the 3 essential elements, food, housing, and transport, Dragan security and service army, afterwards offering the 4th dimension, that we integrate across all public and private security forces, just like envisioned in my scenario and the application, via the application of my citizen integration theory, across all applications, live stream. I'm not a fucking dictator. I'm not a fucking dictator. Not a fucking dictator. Not an authoritarian. Gotta lower interest rates. No 20% more than 10% on all loans. What's that? Maximum 10%. Principles, solutions, propositions. Frustrated, upset, depressed with organizations. Too much blah blah blah. I've stagnated. Been depressed, suicidal, didn't get out of bed. I admit sometimes I'm a fool. Looking for some love. Write songs, poetry. Fundamentally, first and foremost, I'm the world's greatest living millennial dancing rainbow poet. World's greatest living millennial rainbow dancing poet. Those 7 words. I'm gonna go back in time again. Just know how what. I'm gonna go back in time a bit again. Back in October 2019, yours truly, world peace advocate, independent student, scholar of history, wars, geopolitics, and civilizations, alarmed by what was transpiring in the world up to that point in time. I've said, after having taken into consideration the analysis, I've said that we, humanity, are on a path to World War III. See, just now, I had a sexual thought. I had a little sexual thought. What do I do then? I'm gonna shake it off and no. Sex is holy, sacred, and divine. I smiled. I said, yeah, I admit it. I admit it. I fantasize. Sometimes my sexual fantasies or our twisted, beautiful, my twisted, beautiful fantasy, my twisted, beautiful fantasy, my twisted, beautiful fantasy. With consent and hygiene, consent and hygiene, consent and hygiene. Anyways, see, as a philosopher, as a universal spiritual teaching student, that as we have thoughts or lusts which we are ashamed to admit. I struggled with being bisexual. I struggled. Right? My femininity, my womanhood. I'm androgynous, pansexual. Struggle with hidden fears, hidden lusts, hidden hatreds. The hatreds. And in many, including myself, my own nature, these hidden fears, hidden lusts, the trends, the love and be loved, the urges, love urge, and the hidden lusts and hidden fears are driving and have been driving for decades us to homicidal and suicidal rages. Suicidal, homicidal rages. Suicidal, homicidal rages. Yesterday, got a Super Bowl. I can say for sure, without a doubt, brothers and sisters, that one on each side where they played, the Bengals versus the Rams. I better give some food security. Y'all don't need another car. Y'all got 3 cars and 3 houses, man. Need some food security, LGBTQ youth. One on each side of the 11. Powerful, aggressive sport. Tactical and physical, right? Force and technicality and strategy, if you will. Out of those 11, one of the Rams in the offense or defense at any given point in time on that any given Sunday. One on the Rams and one on the Bengals. Don't bet, don't gamble. I play a little bit of a lotto when I have a buck to spare, wishing, hoping. One out of those 11 is and was yesterday playing LGBTQ, bisexual or gay. I have no doubt that on the field yesterday, at any given time, whether the offense of the Rams or the defense of the Rams, one of the 11 playing at any given play in the field yesterday, and of the 11 offense of the Bengals and the 11 defense of the Bengals at any given time in point in time, that one of them, on each side, it was one who was the LGBTQ. I have no doubt. I have no fucking doubt. No doubt. Whether they come out or they'll come out 10 years after the NFL, whatever. Look how many decades it took. I have one open LGBTQ player just a few months ago. July 24th, or not sure about the day of the Kal Nasib, my LGBTQ rainbow brother, Kal Nasib rainbow bro. When he come out, I don't know. July, June. Not sure. There's a doubt. A few months ago, 2021, took so many decades. More than 50 years. 55 Super Bowls. Almost had him playing in the playoffs. First LGBTQ player. Almost had the Raiders going to the Super Bowl almost. One of those 11 yesterday was one. And multi-millionaire athletes, they all gotta eat. You know, give the farmers, Dragan Security and Service Army, go do some, give them the truckers, man, and the farmers, go give them a massage. Yeah, good massage, man. Gonna need all that trucker. See, you got some brains and some muscle. Been on a fitness journey. Still am. Lost more than 77 pounds. Working out, training, exercising has been, is, and will continue to be medicine and therapy for yours truly, as I believe it is so for many. I have been advocating for the mass financing thereof and security and service force. Public-private partnership will be that. Service and security force will be that. Applications, looking for volunteers. Dragan Army app, integrated with all public and private institutions and organizations. the Complementary Covenant Cooperative Institutions, the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Service and Security Army, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army. Dancing Goddess Army. Right? Just like envisioned in my scenario. Now back in time again. My scenario that goes, because it's ongoing on the timeline, hand in hand with the General War Integrated Total Body Training System, aka the Dragon's Army Workout, the National Integrated Social Security and Service Force, standard Dragon Army training and evaluation thereof. So back in 2019, alarm about what was transpiring in the world, taking into consideration what had transpired, namely the US-China trade war, began by the Trump administration, and other events, historical events such as Pearl Harbor, as said, came out with the conclusion back in 2019 that we, humanity, are on a path to World War III due to the mainly, principally, first and foremost, the US-China trade war, which triggered the deterioration of Sino-Canadian, Sino-American, Sino-North American, and Sino-Western relations. Sino denoting China as a civilization. I was hoping, and I still am hoping, for a peaceful, mutually beneficial, and cordial breaking of the impasse with China, whatever we say, whatever I could say. China would say that it is not only a one-party communist state, which paradoxically it is, has remained in power, the communist party that was brought to power by Mao Zedong, the revolutionary Marxist communist leader, and officially its ideology of the party and just of China is Marxism, Leninism, and Maoism. Mao Zedong's taught and Xi Jinping taught now. And they're working towards the goal of what they call Chinese, what they call socialist spiritual civilization. Their goal of socialist spiritual civilization. Their goal of socialist spiritual civilization. How much we have an understanding of that and XYZ and other issues, I think it's China is not only a one-party communist state, but is a civilization that many in the West do not fully understand. And whatever we say or may do, last year Xi Jinping has stated directly and straightforward the message which gave me goosebumps and gives me goosebumps when I remember it, and that message was that anybody who tries to bully, oppress, or enslave China or the Chinese people will have their heads smashed bloody in the Great Wall of Steel built by 1.3 billion Chinese. I'm fighting your wars, man. And fight for me, bro. Yeah, I grew up with a silver spoon, Donald Trump. You know, my biological father gave me, don't even remember, man. My biological father. I don't even remember. It's the surname. A surname Dragan took blood, sweat, and tears, and thousands of push-ups, thousands of squats, thousands of hawks, millions of marching steps in steel-toe boots to turn my A, the A in my surname into a no. I'm still gonna do it today with marching today. The motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon. You become one. The motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon. You become one. The motto of the Dragon Army is nobody is born a dragon. You become one. Anybody that can be an ally, supporter, lover, sympathizer. If you want to be a dragon, you got to be able to do the general war integrated whole body training system, calling upon all willingly loving citizens to the application of just like envisioned in my scenario, which had the solution. My World War III scenario, of course, which was made, created, and designed to go hand in hand with my workout began. The first session, and have proof, have documented proof, is my raw, real, unedited videos of workouts, training, exercising on YouTube, live stream via Facebook, and of course, workouts, hundreds of them, hundreds of workouts of the general war integrated whole body training system, which is required of all willing loving to do, calling on the creation of the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragon Army, just like envisioned in my scenario, to give security of service, security and service. My scenario created to go hand in hand with the workout back in 2019, October 17 was the first time that I've performed the general war integrated whole body training system. I've performed more than 225 so far, and I will continue to do so. I'll be on the mountain where it gets better. I've been doing special ones with a barrel of water. So, created with the scenario, what causes World War III in my scenario is a stock market crash which triggers the global financial collapse and is blamed by many across the world on the Trump administration imposing of tariffs on China, thus destabilizing the international trade system and the global financial system and the commercial world order. So stock market crash, that's my scenario. Now due to COVID, and I don't know what caused COVID, I believe we were snakes to human beings, and since do not know for sure, cannot rule out another possibility. Fourth dimension to that trinity on COVID, what do know 100% without a doubt is that before COVID, 93 days before COVID began, the general war integrated whole body training system, a system effective, efficient, and simple design to go hand in hand with an emergency crisis scenario, of which yours truly was the creator thereof, based on my analysis. And of course, not just the Trump administration US-China trade war, but Canada's arrest of Meng Wanzhou, the chief financial officer of Huawei, the biggest telecommunications equipment and smartphone equipment maker, Cathy Meng Wanzhou, and daughter of the founder of Huawei, who had overtaken Apple and Samsung to become the biggest smartphone telecommunications and internet infrastructure corporation maker of gadgets and smartphones and hardware and software of internet, and big player in the 5G, Huawei. So she was arrested by the RCMP to honor an extradition treaty with the United States of America. So her arrest triggered a deterioration of relations, Sino-Canadian crises triggered by that event. So that was another factor for me doing the general war integrated whole body training system, the scenario, World War III scenario, which resembles COVID in a nearly paradoxical, providential, and parallel way, resembles the COVID-19 health and financial crisis. Since what causes World War III in my scenario is a global financial crash, which due to COVID started the stock market. The coronavirus stock market crash occurred between February 20th and April 7th. The corona stock market crash, check it on Wikipedia and online, was between February 20th and April 7th. So between February 20th, 2020 and April 7th, there was the coronavirus stock market crash, which triggered ongoing the global recessions that we're seeing, recessions and some economic, financial, commercial crises, the worst in more than since the Second World War in 7 years. So my solution in the scenario was mobilization of 1% of citizens of NATO member countries, calling upon Israel to become the 31st member of NATO ASAP, mobilizing 1% of citizens, recreating this new institution for security and service. We're building back better with the debt refusion theory put into practice and application. My theory of debt refusion theory, which I've written over the past 7 years. More than 7 years, as I've made the libraries of the city of Montreal my second home, and the tens of thousands of books, my friends, and wrote tens of thousands of pages of philosophy, theory, poetry, of which the theories is complementary citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory that I'm calling to be put into application and practice ASAP. Just like in my scenario, mobilizing 1% of citizens willingly loving, integrated by citizen integration theory, integrated with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces, integration at all levels, creating the International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Army. Just like in my scenario, to secure the 3 essential elements of civilization by a public-private partnership, and infusing and integrating with all existing public and private security forces and armed forces, local, national, and international, from Canada, US, NATO. Citizen integration theory and debt refusion theory. So to integrate across all levels, secure the 3 essential elements of civilization, and after those 3 are secured, we can work on the 4th dimension of services, whatever X, Y, Z. The extras. First, the Trinity, securing it, as well, ensure and secure freedom for all citizens, allies, supporters, and subjects thereof. Food, housing, and transport, that Trinity. Food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. Food, housing, and transport. Transport to be able to move rural, urban. Encourage people to volunteer, work out, train, exercise. So after securing the Trinity, food, housing, and transport, to work on the 4th dimension. Services, massages, kisses, washing of the feet for the farmers, the truckers, east, west, north, south, helping with the children, going for a walk, going for a jog, going for a run, do some sports, make them some energy by doing some activities, whether dancing, push-ups, squats, hops, playing basketball, hockey, soccer, whatever sports, badminton, tennis, all sports. Whatever, run, go visit some dams, of which 61 of them here in province of Quebec, built since 1963 by the brains and muscles of tens of thousands, millions, hundreds of thousands who worked for Hydro-Quebec. Allow me to record this video, clean, renewable energy. zero pollution, zero emission energy, the farmers, and to bridge the rural and the urban gap. Citizen integration to volunteers, see how farming is done. Now the food, be thankful a bit to the farmers. There's some gratitude, thanks, give them a hug. Hug a farmer, trucker, grocery store clerk, putting loading up the trucks, unloading the trucks, food, goods now going, crossing the bridge, going east to west, coast to coast, Canada, US. Canada, US. And some feeding even those multi-millionaires in our Westmount, living in gated communities, those living in gated communities, man. Manhattan, financial district of New York, your downtown. Living in multi-million-dollar houses in Westmount, or rich neighborhoods in Toronto, Vancouver, San Francisco, New York, Florida. I gotta eat. I'm not perfect, far from it. I do have a lower self. My spiritual teachings got with Trinity of Self plus the lower and the higher. Try to stay in the middle. But as imperfect as I am for the greater good, and I think my philosophies and complementary theories, the Trinity, citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, and democratic fusion theory are best and timely, just in time for the establishment of a new world order of world peace, international justice, secured and ensured global freedom, and attaining harmony between civilization and nature, securing food, housing, and transport, and afterwards working on the fourth dimension, the services, creating an economy of joy and pleasure and purpose, not just purpose or profit, just profit, but of purpose, environmental and civilizational harmony. Not just purpose, not just profit, but purpose and pleasure, not just profit, but pleasure and purpose, not just profit, but pleasure and purpose. They have the Dragan army of services, man. Go visit east, west, north, south. This is great. Big, second biggest country in the world after Russia. United States, North America, goes South America, Central America, and all the world. 2 oceans we got. Always has been my policy. Now 1 border, 2 oceans. NORAD. Now 1 border, 2 oceans. So just like in my scenario, the application of the solution in my scenario is my World War III scenario. It had the destruction, devastation. It also had the rebuilding, regeneration, and renewal and reconstruction. My citizen integration theory, CIT, citizen integration theory. As much a philosopher, I can see also the macro picture. It's the philosophical and solutions. In certain situations, I suck. I'm not that good. Certain I'm mediocre. Other things I'm great. We have philosophy. This political analysis, this theory to be put into practice, which I've written in many years. So I've struggled, suffered, and made the libraries of the city of Montreal my second home. many thousands of books, my friends. Citizen integration theory, integrating with the Dragan army, security of service across all levels of civilization. Public-private partnerships, harmony between the public and the private. Attaining harmony with nature. The creation of the two complementary cooperative institutions. International Citizen Integrated Social Security and Service Force, aka the Dragan Armies of Security and Service, with the International Integrated Dance League, aka the Dancing Goddess Army, and the Phoenix People's Party, anti-war, anti-poverty, anti-racism, pro-love, party who love is action. Kisses got by the trillions, hugs, push-ups, squats, dance moves, licks, washes, poetry, rap, rock. Some brain and some muscle, some brain and some muscle, some brain and some muscle, Adrian, Dragan God. Creating the two complementary institutions to be absorbed, integrated with all existing public and private institutions and organizations, local, national and international. For a new world order of war, peace, international justice, secured and ensured global freedom and attaining harmony between civilization and nature. By the application of my trinity of theories, citizen integration theory, being integrated with the Dragan army and the Dancing Goddess army at all levels of the public and the private, but of course with the privacy also being respected, and so people to have their privacy, of course. The citizen integration theory, debt refusion theory, which I've written over the past years, debt refusion theory, taking all private and public debt. My private debt is about $10,000 to the RBC bank. And there's, if I'm X and X represents the private debt, if I'm X1, you're X2, there's hundreds of thousands, millions, hundreds of millions across the world of X's. And with the public debt, right here, the US debt has reached 30 trillion, first time ever. Canadian debt is also in the trillions. And the German debt and the Israeli debt and so forth in the alliance of the Dancing Goddess and the Dragon Kingdom. All private and public debt, whatever the number is in trillions. Let's say 77 trillion. With that, created the creation of a new central global bank, global central bank to issue the UE, Universal Exchange Unit, by biometrics, the hand, the voice, and the eye being unique biometric identifiers. And secure food, housing, and transport, and offer the services Dragan Zero, Adrian, Dragan, androgynous, pansexual, founder, Dancing Goddess, and the Dragon Kingdom, which are one empire, and the sun and stars on earth. Love you, love you, love you. Bless you.